First of all, nice to meet you all. Anyone that I don't know over here, my name is David Avgi. Anytime you need anything, you can always reach out to me. How I want to start this off is talking about the elephant inside the room, which is the market, the current market. I don't know if you guys been feeling it and how you've been feeling it, if you're in the rentals or you're in the sales, but there has been a big drop in the market. Now the question is, we're real estate agents, right? We work on commission. We have bills to pay. We have lives to live. We don't get salaries. The thing is, because of that, is that we need to learn how to adjust and innovate inside this market, especially if you want to continue making money, closing deals. And also there's this word called the recession, right? That everyone's scared. Everyone's starting to bring it up and starting to talk about it. But in a recession, there's a lot of people that become very profitable and make a lot of money. The question is, how do you become profitable in a recession? How do you become an amazing agent in a recession? We're seeing buyers' interest go down, interest rates go up. Why is buyers' interest going down? Because buying power is a lot less today. What you could buy, your mortgage payment on $1 million, what it was at 4% is very different at 7%. It's a lot more expensive. But you guys need to know how to have these conversations with your buyers, with your sellers, and with everything else in order to create yourself business. Now, in the past 30 days, I'll give you an example. It was probably one of the slowest months, but I've done over 9 contracts sent out. Now, 9 of these contracts were as follow. 3 of them was for buyers that I've been working with. 4 of them were for my listings as exclusives. 2 of them were investment properties that I'm purchasing. Now, how did I get 9 contracts out in the past 30 days? It's all about working with my buyers and sellers and guiding everyone and making sure to let them know and educate them about the market. For example, do you think it's a good time to buy right now?
Yes.
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 It's always a good time to buy. That's what I say. It's always a good time to buy. Now, why is it a good time to buy?
Less competition.
Okay.
We have more supply now.
Okay.
So you have to make summertime.
Great. What else?
You can negotiate better.
Okay. And?
Prices are down a little
Although we
bit,
have a
depending on where you're looking.
Amazing. Yes.
Landlords are willing to negotiate.
Oh, perfect. I love it. All of you guys said amazing things. There is more power right now for buyers. We're in a buyer's market, meaning listings are going onto the market at fair market value. We're not seeing overpriced listings. There is less competition inside the market, meaning your buyers are less likely to get into bidding wars. On top of that, if your buyers want to get the perfect place, there's no more 100 people going to 6 listings that are available in the area. There's more listings in the area, and there's less competition, meaning your buyer can find the perfect place at a good price and negotiate a better deal. The right time to buy, I would personally say, is right now. And the question is why? Can any of you guys predict the market? Have you ever seen people predict the market? If anyone could predict the market, we would be billionaires. Easily. Even Wall Street can't predict the market. Every time you're seeing them change their assessment, you hear JP Morgan and Bloomberg, recession will happen 6 years ago, it's supposed to happen today, it's happening tomorrow, it's going to skip Christmas and come on Hanukkah. You're hearing a bunch of things from everyone. No one is predicting the market correct ever. Meaning you have to always be on the go, go, go. So I use that as an advantage. I'm using that with my buyers as an advantage. Listen, the market is tough. Interest rates are high right now. I submit offers and I'm like, hey, listen, I don't know. I'll give you guys a few examples. One deal that I just did. They were asking, there was 2 apartments inside the building, 3 similar like apartments, but it was anywhere from 2.4 million to 3.1 million. I took my buyer, showed them around. Okay, they liked it. I submitted a $1.8 million offer to all 3. They're all similar copy-paste units. Each one got offended at me. Started cursing me, questioning why I was born. There was a lot of things that were going on. I said, great. My response was like this. It's my offer. Do you have anything else? No, but we could say, do you have anything else? I said, then it doesn't matter. That's my offer. Make me a counter. I got so tough that I created such a ruckus in the building that 2 units actually price dropped their prices significantly, and I ended up getting a deal done for a $2.7 million apartment at $1.975 for my clients. Okay, that's a $1,000 price per square foot on the Upper West Side. That's a home run. That's a steal. It's amazing. Now, why did I do that? I knew my buyers have power. So I got them close to a 30% discount. Another thing, knowledge is power, right? You want to have knowledge. Now, when it comes to sellers, sellers are tough, right? I have a lot of listings online right now, and there's a few listings that weren't moving, and we're having a tough time. Kimberly worked with me on a few listings. Eden has worked with me on a few listings, and something that I did personally, you were present for a few of those conversations as well. I made them price it right. But how did I make them price it right? Every seller, before they hit the market, they have a price in mind that they want for it. Hey, there's a better unit down the block for cheaper. No, but the way I built it, and I put my love into it, and I did this, and I thought about that, no one cares. It's a transaction. Take out emotion. If you learn how to educate them correctly, showing them comps, showing them days on market, showing them transactions, showing them everything, guess what? They will give you the building at a lower price, or they will even be open to a price reduction. We got the developer to agree to a massive price reduction. Guess what? In 2 weeks, we got 66% of the building contracts out for them. In 2 weeks, the second we did a price adjustment. Why? Because we went aggressive. We had a marketing plan before we even do the price adjustment online. And we reached out to everyone and we locked people in. Right? Also on Kimberly's building, we ended up pricing it so right that we sold 90% of the building in 4 months. I think a new development on the market. Everyone's telling me, giving me offers like 30 days in, and they're like, oh, the market's slow. I'm like, well, you're giving me offers. I have like 10 more that I'm negotiating right now. I don't know if the market's slow. So we ended up getting almost everything done close to asking price. Why? Because we listed it at great prices that moves them not too quickly that it's a discount, but moves them fast enough that it's a good price and good product, and people are still interested in coming to see it. It's all about guidance. There's this building right now that I'm taking over in the next 2 weeks, and it's in Bushwick. It's a 10-unit building, and it's been on the market for quite some time. Now, I went to the building. The owner says he wanted to give it to me 6 months ago. When I went to the building, I told him my prices. He told me, hey, listen, I told him 6.5 million. He told me 7.8 million total sellout. I told him, yeah, call me when you can sell it. Literally my response. I'm like, call me later. He calls me 6 months later. I have 1 in contract out of 10. I'm 6 months on the market. What can we do? I'm like, 6.5 million. He's like, okay. I'm like, wait, I'm not taking the listing just yet. I'm going to the building today. I went to the building. There's a mess, construction debris, mistakes, dirt everywhere, wood floor needs to be sanded, a few leaks. I sent him a punch list. I said, until this isn't resolved, I don't want it. Sometimes it's better to walk away from a listing and be the second, third, or fourth agent on the listing, not to waste your time and also your name. Because at the end of the day, when you waste your name, and when you go and do something, you know what's going to happen 6 months later if you have 1 in contract out of 10 units? They're going to be like, that agent is no good. That other agent, though, that other agent that closed up the building, that agent is great. You don't want to be represented with that name, so it's okay to walk away from listings because the price is the price and the market is the market. You don't need listings. What's the point of having listings if you can't sell them? It's a waste of time and it's a waste of money, especially when you get into the big boy leagues, right? You want to sell a lot of these big resales and big new developments and so forth. You have to invest. Now, what's investing? Do you know that in some buildings I invested close to $100,000 in order to get them sold? Meaning I took out of my pocket $100,000, invested it inside the building into marketing, staging, floor plans, pictures, anything you can think of, website clicks, banners, whatever you can think of. And who's guaranteeing me that the building is being sold? No one's guaranteeing me. But I'm willing to have skin in the game. And because I'm willing to have skin in the game, this is where my knowledge brings me power. I feel confident in the prices that I set. That A, I'm not selling it for cheap, so I'm not doing a disservice to my client, but I'm actually going to sell it and get him full market value and maybe even slightly over by pushing it aggressively. Now, by me doing that, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I have skin in the game with the developer. They respect me a lot more. But then I'm also confident that, hey, I'm not just going to lose my money. I'll make it back plus my profits, right? So you got to make sure that you're doing everything right and that you're leveling it up. So with buyers and sellers, number one, you need knowledge. Also, you need to understand the market. Is it a good market to sell? It's always a good market to sell. Is it a good market to buy? It's always a good market to buy. The question is, what are you looking to do right now? What are you looking for? Right? And I think that when there's fear in the market and unknown, that's what gives us the most leverage. Because the unknown means people are literally walking on eggshells, so people are very sensitive. And this is when you come aggressive and intelligent and get deals done. You want sensitivity in the market. Because the second we're in a recession, guess what? We're in a recession. It's gone. Buyers get scared. You know why? Everyone says, I'm going to buy when it's red. You know, how many times have you talked to people and they tell you, can't wait for the market to crash. When it crashes, I'm going to buy crypto. When it crashes, I'm going to buy stocks. When it crashes, I'm going to buy some property. You hear that a lot, right? But do you know that people are already scared and we haven't even touched the recession yet? We haven't even seen blood in the market. You know what happens when there's blood flowing in the market and people are choking and stressing? They think it's going to get worse, that there's no way out of it. Hence why you don't see a lot of people investing in stocks, investing in the market, in real estate, and so forth, crypto. They get scared. What happened in March 2020? Bitcoin went down to $3,000. After that, it resurged to $65,000. Why did no one invest? I asked a lot of people, I'm like, hey, did you invest in Bitcoin when it was $3,000? It dropped that day. Did you buy Facebook? Did you buy Apple that day? It dropped like 60%. Did you get into it? People were like, no, you know, it was crazy, Corona, no one. That's what happens when there's a recession. No one knows what's going to happen. Is it the end of the world? Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? The few that do and have the courage to step into those markets and at those times will come out the most successful. But because it's scary and not many people do have that courage, it means that the market might be worse for buyers in a recession because there might not be a lot of buyers due to fear. Right now in the unknown, there's still a lot of people with jobs. They're still making good money, but you can still have power to negotiate. I think it's a perfect time to step in. And guys, as an investor, I want to tell you guys one thing. Interest rates, right? Buyers will come to you with an objection. Interest rates, they're so high. Oh my God, it's going to be so expensive. Guess what you can do if you get the right deal? An investor doesn't care about interest rates. An investor cares about getting a good deal. Why? Interest rates fluctuate and they always move up and down. Guess what? In 2 years, interest rates might go down. So, meaning, if I bought a good deal, I can always refinance, meaning taking out another mortgage on my property. Now, if I refinance, my mortgage payment might go down substantially lower because if I bought something at 7% and now I refinanced at 4.5%, I save almost 2.5% of interest on every monthly payment, meaning I'm bringing in more profits to my pocket. Investors always understand the term refinance. And guess what? When you buy such a good deal and it's still high value, there's a thing called cash out refinance where your buyers can even cash some money out. And when they go to refinance it because they got a big deal, they can pull out a bigger mortgage. So there's a lot of plays that you can do. It's all about guiding people. It's all about making sure that you have the knowledge. And that's what's going to leverage you in this market. That's why I've seen my past 30 days scale up and other people's 30 days not even do one transaction. There's a difference into it, and there's people that take this all the way up to a crazy league where they're closing even. I know people that did over $50 million in transactions as a real estate agent in the past 30 days. So it's all about what you put in. Yeah? Questions? Questions? Anyone? About the market, about ideas.
What's happening with the mortgage rate, you think?
So actually today we had good news. It seemed like the rates went up, but the actual rates for our buyers went down. And we're looking at an increase that's happening in December. I think the Federal Reserve is talking about another 0.5 basis points, which is around 0.5% that's going to go up. But the question is, at a certain point, the banks, what they do is they loan each other money for, let's say, the Federal Reserve rate, which is going to be that it's going to, if it goes up another 0.5% basis point, we'll be at 4.25%. It's called the federal funds rate, right? Now, banks, if they can't lend out to buyers, how are banks going to make money? At a certain point, the banks might actually lower their profit margin at what they're selling it to the client, right, to actually get mortgages to move. I think in the near future, we're going to see a few more increases. But I think after we get those increases, guess what? I think it's going to stabilize. The second inflation goes back down and we hit around that 2-3% marker, I think rates will skyrocket back down to stimulate the market even more. So I think it's temporary, and I don't think it's that gross right now. 7% and 6% interest rates, hey, it's common. You know what wasn't common? 2.8%, 3% interest rates. That was never common. I never was in a market where there was 3%. You know, if you go back 10 years, you're looking at anywhere from like 6% to 7%. You go back further, you're looking at minimum a 12% interest rate.
But we're still historically low.
We're historically low right now. So people are getting angry and they're in a stalemate. Oh, I should have gotten that 3%. I should have gotten that 3.5%, that 2.5%. It was COVID. There was unknown. The Federal Reserve dropped the rates aggressively. That's why prices went up so much, because there was more affordability out there. But in reality, 6% is actually a really good interest rate. It's a really good interest rate. Anyone 5 years ago wouldn't have fought it, right? So that's what I think is happening right now. I think it will decrease in the next, I'm saying 2 years, we're going to see a decrease in rates, but I think for the next year or 6 to 8 months, we will see a few more increases. Yeah.
6% after 3%, it sounds
Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Which was best deal, better deal?
I think 6% is a better deal than 3% today. I'll tell you why. Because 3% like 6 months ago means you're buying $1 million home for $1.6 million. You're overpaying. But at 6%, so at 6%, if I can buy the house for $1 million, or if people are scared and I can get it for $900,000 and I can get that 10% discount.
So the point is, you can always convince the client, if you even bought like 6 months ago with a low rate, actually you're paying more than for the same apartment today with 6% rent, because you buying for less price.
Less price. But there's two things. So think about it this way. He's 100% right. What he's saying is like this. Let's say someone bought 6 months ago a $1.5 million home at 3% interest. And then someone bought a similar home in today's market for $1.1 million at a 6% interest. They might have the same mortgage payments. One thing that you guys can never control as investors, right? Think about it like this. I bought the house for 1.5 and I bought the house for 1.1. What can I never do again in my life? I can never control what I bought that house for anymore. That goes out the window. I paid 1.5 or I paid 1.1. It goes out the window. I already paid for it. You know what I can control? When I want to refinance, what my rate's going to be.
You can always refinance, but you cannot rebuy.
I cannot rebuy the house and change my purchase price. My purchase price is my purchase price. It's set in stone. That's why I'd rather get a good deal at a higher rate, a great deal, and then wait for the market to adjust and then take advantage of that. Yes.
Would that be a good approach to follow the market on StreetEasy and or the other platforms to have knowledge about the sale price of some type of buildings in a certain neighborhood, so that you can speak a little bit confident? So
I love that,
or
100%.
Is there any other?
I love that. And people ask me how to become more knowledgeable. That's a big way of becoming more knowledgeable. Step one is what I like to do: grab an Excel, choose a few neighborhoods, and then just study those neighborhoods. Study new development, study resale, study certain blocks, and study the price per square foot, and look how it fluctuates over the 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms. And then all you have to do is go back into your Excel every 30 days and see how the market changed. If the prices went down, the recorded closings, if the prices went up, if the active listings, you had 10 active listings and now you have 30 active listings, that's abnormal. There's a lot of people pushing into the market. There's a lot of units for sale. All of that will give you the knowledge to understand the market better. So now I can, for example, say that last month in Bed-Stuy, it was selling for around $950 price per square foot. This month, I'm seeing things going into recorded sales around $875 per square foot, meaning there was around a 75% price per square foot decrease in offers and in contracts, right? So by writing that in your Excel and constantly studying the market and seeing how things are going, it makes you a market expert. You need to utilize that, because when you go on a pitch, guess what? That's how we'll tell you, hey, but they know better than anyone. They tell you, hey, that building down the block got $1,000 price per square foot. Why are you quoting me $950? They got $1,000. Well, guess what, brother? That building down the block sold 6 months ago. They put things into contract and they just closed. Meaning the clients that went over there locked up around a 4 or 5% interest rate. Also, become market experts with finance. This is such a big deal. Mortgage brokers, become their best friends. Do you guys know there's a lot of cool programs happening right now? Cool programs. Do you know I just got my buyer approved for a 3.79% interest rate? Want to know how? Yeah, 3.79. Just got approved. Signed the contract.
With a new development?
New development.
Like buyout?
No, regular 30-year fixed mortgage, 20% down. How? There's programs out there. You guys have to become close to mortgage brokers. Turns out, in that special area, there was a program called the Eagle Program, and they approved that building to qualify for the Eagle Program. The Eagle Program wants to syndicate more buyers into a certain market, meaning they're giving them rate cuts, right? And it's the government working with the banks. Now, my buyer qualified, and guess what? She now got a 3.79% interest loan, but I also negotiated 20% off the purchase price and a free parking space and a free storage unit. So guess what? She's in home run territory right now. She is excited beyond belief. She's so excited, she's like, maybe I need a second unit. Maybe I need a second unit. There's cool programs out there. There's certain programs also with Citibank that still do 95.5, 90.10, 5% interest rates. You gotta study the market. You gotta exhaust all options. The more people you meet and the more brokers you meet and the more mortgage brokers you meet, the more you will learn. But it's putting yourself out there. Just sitting in the office or walking around or doing previews, it's not gonna get you there. It's not gonna get you to the next level. It's not gonna educate you about the market. When you go out and exhaust all options and start doing research and calling people up and taking coffees with them, sitting down and really understanding the market, guess what? You'll get a lot of knowledge back. You can utilize that knowledge, and that could be your competitive edge. That could be a big edge that helps you, guess what? Get deals done, right? So it's all about educating yourself. Yes?
What is a source of that you rely on for like your knowledge to stay up?
Knowledge? A few things. Some things that I love to get my knowledge from. I have Yahoo Finance. I love it. Wake up, read it in the morning really quick. It's a quick page. Urban Digs, Yibney is amazing. I am big into YouTube. I don't know how you guys are. I am massive. And not only do I film for YouTube, but I'm also big for YouTube. Like, I follow a lot of very, very intelligent creators. And also what I like to do every 2 weeks, I love to call a few mortgage brokers and just be like, hey, what's going on? How's the market? They want to talk to you. They want to associate themselves with you. They want to be your preferred lender. They want, they make money just letting you guys know, what are we in this business for? Capital, right? What are they in the business for? Capital. So they want to get to know you. They know even if you're not a big agent, it's okay. You might not be big today, but tomorrow you might be massive. So they want to be good with you. They'll accept your phone calls and they'll meet you up. And guess what I do? Every 2 weeks, I start getting education from them. Hey, what's happening with the market? What programs are out there? Who's having the best loans? Is it Wells Fargo? Is it Citi? First Republic? What's going on right now with the market? The more I meet with them and the more I get updates, the more I really understand. And also another way is talking to your agents. Go and mingle. There's a lot of events out there. Go and mingle with big agents. You'll see that big agents deal with a lot of deals, and the more bigger agents you mingle with, the more knowledge they have and the more experience that they have, and they love to talk about themselves. Crazy, right? They love to talk about themselves. I never met an agent that doesn't like to show off. It's an ego business. It really is. You know, it's funny, in the investment world, you don't see people in suits. In the investment world, you see people in sweats. I know people that have hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate, and they won't walk out of the house in a suit. They don't even own a suit. But then I don't know any real estate agent that doesn't even have $50,000, in GCI in a year that doesn't have a suit, right? So it's an ego business. It's very physical and a little bit superficial. So guess what you got to do? It's a psychology business, right? Feed them. Feed them. Hey, tell me about yourself. Wow, you're so incredible. Wow, you closed some deals? Shit. I wish I was on your level. Tell me how you did it. Guess what? Extract knowledge. Extract a lot of knowledge. Boost them up. And guess what? You will get that knowledge. They will feed it to you. They will love to share it with you. And that's a huge way of getting a lot of knowledge. Talking to people, YouTube, Yahoo Finance, Urban Digs, Yibney, getting yourself cultivated with the world, but don't just limit yourself to real estate. Also study finance, because that's a big deal in our market. Finance has to do with the real estate market.
We have some questions from Instagram.
Hit me. I love you, Instagram.
You're talking about the question, any names on YouTube creators?
Yes, there's great YouTube creators. You can follow Meet Kevin, you can follow Graham Stephan, you can follow Alex, you can follow David.
You mean Kevin Ward?
Meet Kevin. Kevin, I don't know his last name. But there's amazing people. There's amazing creators. And guess what? It's like a rabbit hole. The second, Patrick Bet David, the second you like click one, it funnels you to everyone else.
Another question, real quick. They say, what's the inventory like in New York right now? And if you witnessed any areas in New York where like up and coming, and now like the return is lower. They meant lower ROI now. I guess it's what was coming before, now it's going down.
So inventory is inventory definitely went up. It's not as high as a lot of people thought it's going to be, but I feel like it's going to get much higher. But inventory definitely went up. Where I see cool markets to step into, it's like the Bed-Stuy market. It's, for example, Gowanus. I feel like Gowanus, they're doing a lot of rezoning over there. It's an amazing market to step into. You're from there as well, right, Kate? So there's a lot of things happening over there. I feel like there's also PLG is an amazing market that, you know what's funny? I developed a building there 4 years ago, and I thought, if we make some money, good luck. You know what I mean? That's how I thought, like, good luck. And today's market, I'm like, I wish I didn't sell the building back in the day, because today people are paying like $900, $1,000 price per square foot. When we were building it, we were happy to get $600 price per square foot. That's like 5 years ago. That's not a long time ago. That's insane. There's a lot of returns. There's a lot of places that are being developed. And especially in today's market, I feel like there's a lot of places to get a big ROI. Also Long Island. Who heard of Long Island until COVID? No one, right? Prices were super low, but guess what? If you're smart and you're investing also in Long Island, you can find big returns. I own a lot of homes in Long Island because I see a lot of value in them. Kimberly's mother owns a lot of homes in Long Island, and guess what? She wanted our advice on one of the units, right, Cam? And she was renting it for like $3,200 a month. Beautiful house in Merrick. Guess what? She ended up getting over $6,000 a month on the house. Crazy. That's a big jump from 2-year lease 2 years ago to this year. That's a massive jump, over almost 100% more on the rental income. So where is there value? There's value everywhere. Question is, choose your market where you want to be focused on. And also, if you want to deal with certain buyers, focus on the market that you want to deal with them and become an expert on that market. It's always good to buy, and it's always good to buy everywhere. You can buy in Harlem. Some people don't want to go to Harlem. They want a more developed area, right? But in today's market, it's really up to what you want to focus on. Favorite book that changed my life personally, I went from being a loser to being somewhat of a loser, was Outwitting the Devil, one of my favorite books in the world. I am one of the biggest lovers of that. 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel is like insane. It's like so deep, but it's insane. You have the Rich Dad Poor Dad is great. Think and Grow Rich is great. Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Wow, love that book. He was an FBI negotiator and just teaches you everything about negotiating and tactics and mindset. There is a million Unfuck Yourself, and so many more books that if you guys read it, I promise you will change your mindset. And just one good book might change your life forever. That's what it did for me. I was a nobody. Books really cemented certain things in my head.
Did you read the 4 Agreements?
I didn't. But I'll put that down. I like to read. And make yourself a game plan. Listen, I'm a kid that has ADHD. I'm all over the place. I'm very disorganized and organized at the same time. So what I like to do, I make myself goals. If I say, hey, I'm going to read 2 books this month, I make myself goals. By the end of the week, if I didn't finish half a book, then I push myself one day to read a lot to get to that quota. Because if not, I'm never going to complete it. And it's all about just getting it done. And if you do those goals, it's real estate. You're not going to go from year one and become a rock star. It's a growing game. It's like you're not going to invest into one thing and then be a multi-millionaire investor, right? It doesn't happen like that. You buy one house, then you buy another house, then you buy another house, then you buy 2 houses because you have a lot more money, right? Then you buy 3 of them. Slowly, it's gradually. Same thing with real estate agent. You're not just going to become amazing out of nowhere. It takes time. But if you become a little bit smarter every day and add a little bit more knowledge to your arsenal every day, it compounds. It gets bigger and bigger. You know, it's like Warren Buffett. He only believes on compounding interest. Why? Because he says, I put money every day and the money works for me while I put in more money, and it compounds and that's what makes millionaires millionaires. Same thing with mindset. It all compounds. If you add more knowledge every day to your mindset, then guess what? When you go out and speak to someone, that knowledge that you already have compounds and is working for you. While you're adding more, 2, 3, 4 years down the line, you might be one of the most intelligent agents out there, meaning you can use that for your power, right? This is the game.
And very convincing.
Yeah, sold. Sign here, please. Yes. Nothing? Stretching? Stretching? Who else? And,
there
yes.
was a question. What's the impact of budgetary control on the organizational performance?
Okay, love that question. I think what they're trying to ask, if I'm correct, is how should you budget yourself and what's the impact of budgeting yourself correctly as a real estate agent, right? It is so important. You guys have to understand, as a real estate agent, you're an independent contractor, meaning it doesn't matter what you make, it might all be different. You guys will come out with different types of incomes every year. Now, I have a question for you. When do you see a profitable business year one? Very rare, no? To see a business being profitable in their first year, right? It doesn't really happen. Amazon wasn't profitable, right?
For 20 years.
Boom, 20 years. I have a question for you. When do you see a profitable business? When did you ever see a profitable business year one? It doesn't happen. You guys are an entity. When you're a real estate agent, there's a reason why we tell you open up an LLC, a corp, and so forth, right? Why? It's because you are an entity and you got to think of yourself as a business. Yes, you work for a brokerage, right? The best brokerage in the world, Avenues, plug, right? Shameless plug. Yes, you work for a brokerage, right? But you work under a brokerage, but you're self-employed, you're independent. You got to treat this as your own business. You ever seen a business grow without capital? What does every business need? Capital, right? Investment, the initial investment. So if you don't invest into your business, guess what? Your business won't grow. It will collapse maybe. And guess what? If you're not consistent, and I always like to think about it like this, am I going to fire me? It's always a fight against me. Would I hire me as an employee? And when I see myself slacking or letting off the gas, I'm like, wow, I would fire myself in a second. This is not what I would pay an employee to do. And because I'm so hard on myself, I'm like, I got to work harder than what I expect. I got to do above and beyond because I want to be a great employee. I don't want to just be the employee you give a task and he does the task and I'm like, all right, see you tomorrow. Good night. Right? No, I don't want to be that employee. I want to be the employee that does more so I can get raises and I can allow myself more. So the way I treat myself is the same thing. When I want a new car, when I want a new watch, when I want to go on a vacation, guess what? I have to be a great employee to create more income to give myself that gift after. So I gift myself in. I'm two separate people, right? There's the boss and there's the worker. Same thing in this business. You have to see yourself as the boss and the worker, and you have to do it for yourself. If you won't invest into advertising, if you won't invest into marketing, if you won't invest into knowledge, you're doing yourself a disservice and you won't get anywhere in this game. Period. Point blank. You will fail. So in order to really leverage yourself, you got to write down a business plan. Like Jennifer said, it's so important to do a business plan. Because the second you have that down, guess what? I tell you right now, close $10 million in sales. What are you going to do? Close $10 million in sales. Tell me how you're going to do it. How much money do you want to make this year? 2023, how much money do you want to make in your pocket, net?
I'm sorry, I'm on the spot.
How much money do you want to make?
More than I made last year on stocks. I would say like 50,000 maybe.
50,000, great. How much money do you want to make this year?
30,000.
Okay, no problem. How much money you want to make this year? $500,000, great.
There's IRS account.
Yeah, IRS. $500,000 pesos. How much money you want to make this year, Alex?
I'm losing money, no money made.
No money. Depreciation. Alex, how much money you want to make this year?
$1 million.
$1 million. I love it. Everyone net. I love it. Everyone has their goal, right? $1 million, 30,000, 50,000, 500,000, right? How are you going to hit that? Just to say I want to make $1 million, if I tell you, Kem, he wants to make $1 million, what are you going to say? Wow, right? Like, okay, good luck. You don't think more of it. It seems impossible, right? It seems so hard. Like the word $1 million, especially for someone that hasn't made it before, to do it for their first time seems so hard. How am I going to get there? How do you even make $1 million? Right now, we're grinding on rentals to make like $1,500, $2,000. How do I get to $1 million? How many rentals do I have to do? This is where a business plan comes into play. You want to know how you're going to make $1 million? Guess what? Start averaging. What is your commission? 50, 60, 70%. Great. What is the average sales that's happening in the market? Let's say it's $1 million. Great. Average commission, 30,000. Great. I'm at 50%. I need to make I make $15,000 per $1 million sale. Amazing. Write that down. Now, in order to do one sale, how many calls do I have to make to get people on the phone? No. Let's say I need to make 1,000 phone calls to get 10 meetings. And out of those 10 meetings, I get one listing. I get one listing for $1 million for the average, right? Meaning, how many phone calls do you have to make? Now that you know that.
Today, at least 300 calls, 200 calls.
Okay, great. So now you broke down your day. The more analytics and structure you have and writing down, you might find the number. If I do 1,000 calls 5 times a week and I get this amount of listings, if I get 10 appointments in a month and I get one listing per month, I will end up the year with making close to $15,000 net per deal. I will do 12 deals and I will hit almost 200,000. Great. So now you have a game plan to hit 200,000. If you want $500,000, then you have to build that same game plan to hit $500,000. You could say I want to make $1 million, but guess what? You won't know if you need to pump the gas or hit the brakes. You won't know what you need to do. If you need to do more sales or more rentals this week, you won't really understand how to achieve those goals. A business plan and those analytics and doing research and development will break it down for you systematically. You know you have to close 30 sales this year? Your goal is to get 30 listings. Or to get 20 listings and 10 buyers. Right? Or to get 15 listings, 10 buyers, right? And do another 40 rentals. You can break it down to your level of comfortability. And each one of us already knows the little power that we have in our hand. Also, I love to overshoot for goals, but you don't have to overshoot for goals every time. Be realistic as well, because falling down when you have a high goal also sometimes makes you feel like, you know what? I lost my taste. Exactly, I lost my taste. I don't have that bounce back. I wanted to make $1 million, but I'm only up to 100K. I'm so far away. I like to overshoot your goals, but also make short-term goals. Meaning, every business, how does it work? When it comes to reports, how does it work?
Short-term goals, long-term goals,
Correct, but how does it work? They break it down, right?
monthly,
Quarterly reports, right? Every business, we get quarterly reports. They know exactly if in the first quarter what they hit and how much income they made, right? They know the second quarter how much income they made. Now, if they have a yearly goal, which every business does, and they haven't hit it, they haven't hit 50% within 2 quarters, they know they need to start hitting the gas quarter 3 or quarter 4, or things are going to turn around and hit them in the face really hard, right? So also you have to analyze your play. You have to make your goals, and it has to be attainable, and you have to follow it every quarter. And guess what? Let's say you thought you'd make $100,000, but you made $150,000 this year. You made more. Guess next year, your goal shouldn't be 150. Your goal shouldn't be 100. It should be 250. Leverage yourself, grow yourself. You're a business. You're always trying to grow. The point, why do people invest into stocks? They invest into stocks thinking that the value of the company will go up, hence their share of the company will go up, meaning the business will grow. It's all about growth. Same thing with you and your business plan. How can you leverage your growth? It's always about growth. You never want to make less. It's always about making more. And once you make it once, it's easy to recreate it because you're already accomplished and gained a lot of tools. Cool? Any other questions?
No.
On?
Thank you.
Very good. Very good.